I got a completely new setup. I want to know your opinion, all right? I paid someone to do the lighting in my room. Lights, camera, and action. Everything is completely redone and renewed in this room. Because I got a lot of people complaining when they come in my room that my lighting is trash. So I got a whole new setup at the La Casa. Is it better? Yeah, it's better, right? No, it's good. It's way better. Look at my old VOD and look at the difference in quality. Dude, this is just one stream ago. Just one stream ago, look at the fucking difference I have. That's what I've been doing behind the scenes. I have set up and worked my fucking ass off, bro. Nah, I'm just Josh, look at this. Look at that. And then look at this. Okay, I do look more gray. Alright? I look way better. Yo. What is up, boys? How you guys doing? Why I came out of retirement? We got one more run, boys. And there's no resets in this run. We're going full straightforward. It's not rents due. I don't need money, all right? I don't stream for money. I stream because I like my job, genuinely. The reason why I was gone for so long is I don't really have an excuse. I was with my family. So the reason why I've been gone, chat, as a lot of you know, I have not been off and just walking around my room pacing, okay? I was actually at a wedding. And I'll tell you this, chat. What if I told you something that is ridiculous you probably would not fucking believe me for? What if I told you, chat, that a life outside of streaming is actually kind of nice? I'm gonna let you guys know I have had a fantastic week and a half off. Thank you guys for the extra time off. I appreciate it, by the way. Shout out to the mizkif investors for letting me take the time off that was much needed. I very much appreciate it. I was gone for 10 days, and I'm going to tell you why, chat, and it's really just one simple thing. I was with my family, and I genuinely wanted to enjoy my moments with my family, and I'll tell you right now, I fucking enjoyed every second of it. Like, I feel like over the past 7 years of streaming, I kind of distanced myself from my friends and family back home, and I kind of regret it. Right? Because I don't want to live a life where I'm just constantly doing stuff. I needed some time for my family. I do have my brother's best man speech, which, by the way, chat, the crowd was going wild for. The question is, do I show it on stream? I don't know if that's fair. My brother is currently not answering his phone because I think he's in like Key Largo or something. Hopefully he's not in like Guantanamo Bay or some shit, but he's currently on his honeymoon. So I don't know if it's right for me to show. Problem is also this, it is personal. So a lot of the things you wouldn't really understand, it's about my brother. It's not for Twitch chat. I don't farm any emotes or talk about, fucking make an Asmongold joke. It's pretty deep stuff. It's deep cuts about my brother. It's wild and pedampic to go home and see how many people have children now. And just looking around and thinking to myself, I am so far behind all of you. Dude, do you guys go home and just see your friends and they just all have kids now or they're getting married? I have one friend that's not married. One, and Brendan. That's basically obvious, but I have two friends that aren't married and they're like the 30-year-olds in chat. Valkyrie, are you there? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, chat. Like, I go home and I'm like, damn, like, I'm not even an unk. I should be a father. Forget the whole unk joke. I gotta be a dad. All my friends have kids. Okay, so let me talk to you guys about the wedding. First of all, I had a great time. I have a whole new side of the family. So my family is pretty small. I have about 5 family members. Really, I don't really have a big family. They all kind of died. Does anyone else have that problem where it felt like every year since I was a kid, my table at my dinner would just get smaller and smaller. Like, it wasn't, no one ever got new. There was never new people. It was always just another chair was just left empty. So like, we have this big table in my house and there's about 20 chairs, right? And over time, each chair has just slowly gone empty. We don't take it away, it just sits there. And it just slowly has been getting more and more empty. And now, my brother married this girl. But my brother married this girl, and I'm telling you, chat, we need like 5 more tables and 6 kid tables, and because we have a completely new side of the family. So chat, I would like to introduce you to my new side of the family. They are not Italian whatsoever. Chat, this is my Peruvian new side of the family. Yes, I am now, I think I'm Spanish or something. I think I'm Spanish, right? A Latina. I have a completely Peruvian side of the family. This is my people. Yes, I am Latino. This is my people now. These are my, I'm not kidding you, chat. About 3/4 of the wedding was Peruvians. They were all Spanish. All of them. And they were super racist. I'll be honest with you, chat. They were so bad. And every time they're just like, oh, it's just jokes. And I'm like, look, you're telling me it's just jokes? We're going to be a great family. I'm telling you. I'll get Peter Bot in here right now and he'll say some good jokes too. It was awesome. I had such a great time with my family. They were awesome. I learned so much about them. I learned what so many different colors, so many different things. Great people. So their food was delicious. Chat, you know what they fucking did? Here's what they did. They are the greatest cooks of our generation. The Peruvians came in and they brought their Peruvian puff peppers. They came in and they made some of the best food I have ever had in my entire life. They didn't just, here's what they did. They came to America from Peru. They roll up to my brother's wedding and they go, we're hungry. It's like 50 of them. And they're all sleeping in sleeping bags at my brother's house. They don't give a fuck. They work. So here's what they did. This is how great of a family members they are. Ready? They went to my brother's house, and my brother has like this pretty nice house. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's a nice house. He had a bunch of shrubs in the front yard and a lot of work that needed to be done. They came in and just completely cut all the shrubbery. They did all the work around the house while drinking and partying the entire time. So they partied, drank, and cleaned up the entire house. That's all they did. They worked and drank. That's all they did. Cleaned up, did yard work, did everything for my brother, and just partied. And just did stuff. And I was like, all right, it's sick. Great family. Yeah, would love to have them here. So I was like, I had a really good time with these guys. And I enjoyed my stay. XQCL. They were great. The food that they got, which was crazy, they just went to my brother's neighbor and was like, yo, how much for the cow? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, do you want to just buy the cow? Yeah, can we have the cow? And they're like, no one ever asks us for a cow. That's not how it works. And then one of the Peruvians is like, yeah, in Peru, we will just throw a shoe at the cow and then kill it. I'm like, all right, I don't know what that means. They got half a cow and they used every piece of that cow in every food they made. And it was amazing food. I mean, they made, I don't even know what they made. Steaks, whatever the hell. It was fucking amazing. They are great. So shout out to the Peruvians out there, chat, or Spanish people in the world. They are some of the best chefs I've ever seen in my life. And also they're great people and great dancers. So the wedding was great. I had a great time if you didn't see it. But that's not, I already told a lot of the stories from my brother's wedding. I do have pictures of the wedding. Look at this. Look at this one. This is a classic. This is me at the wedding. This is me saying the best man speech. I think I look pretty fucking good here, to be honest with you. This is a goofy ass tie. Listen, this was not my setup at all. This is my brother's. I had no say in any of this at all. Did you have any jokes the entire speech? No, the entire speech was jokes. This is not me sitting there reading fucking Extra Emily's Twitch chat while she's playing Elden Ring. This is me reading my script, which took 3.5 days to write, by the way. I perfected this speech. I worked on it the entire time. I worked on this when they worked on the Declaration of fucking Independence, okay? Or Twitch TOS. Definitely probably more than Twitch TOS. This was an amazing speech. You want me to tell you how good the first line was of that speech? Ready? I'll read you the first line just so you can hear how good it was, okay? And they laughed, by the way. They said, end quote, I was serious with what people said. Here's the speech's opinions. Oh yeah, by the way, I brought Mar. So Mar lives in New Jersey, leaked. And I was like, yo, Mar, you should just come to my brother's wedding because she came to my stream last time. And she's like, all right, and she did. She actually came to the wedding. My dad hated her. My dad hated her. He's like, can you stop fucking around for your brother's wedding? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, this is your family's wedding and you're bringing your Twitch shit to it. I'm like, Dad, it's funny. And I had told Mar, I'm like, look, let's just go around and tell everyone that you're my daughter. Because I haven't seen a lot of my family in like a decade. So I'm like, let's just go around and tell everyone that you're my daughter. And I did it to one family member, and it was so unbelievable that I just stopped. I was just like, yeah, this is my friend Mar. I couldn't do it because it was just like, yeah, this is my daughter. And everyone, they're like, what? It doesn't make no sense. So yeah, it was just cringe jokes. I couldn't do it anymore. What does Mar have to say?
So back to his speech. That was the speech he said. That speech was like 9 minutes long, but it was a good speech. Like actually really good. Like claps in chat for him. It was a really good speech. Like actually, it was funny, but it was sentimental.
I'm gonna say this, chat. The lady that works there, her name was Marie. Love you, Marie. Marie said, I have worked at 200 different weddings, and yours was the best speech ever. Yours was the best speech I heard out of 200 weddings. Yes, it was that good. And she also said, I've worked at 200 weddings, and I've never had somebody order Wawa to the wedding reception twice. What is wrong with you? And I said, listen, bitch, I'm in LA. Wawa is my sanctuary, and when I'm here, I order Wawa. What do you want me to do? That's my shit. Wawa, I have to do it. She was really nice, though. The wedding was great, but I do have some of my speech. I might as well just tell you the first line. There were some that got some really good chuckles, all right? Okay, it's cringe in this. It's cringe now, but here, let me say it to you, okay? Ready? Picture just a bunch of old people, all right? I want your reaction, so type in chat how you would think. Hi, everyone. For those of you I haven't seen in a decade or ever, hi. I'm Matthew. blank's younger brother. The one who left his whole family to pursue a job of being one of those guys you see on YouTube shorts that you click not interested. What the hell, man? It's chat. It's for like 70-year-olds at a wedding. It's good. You have to understand your audience, chat. I'm not gonna go up there and just start saying the N-word, all right? Like, there'd be 3 of my old friends would probably have laughed, and it would have gone on TikTok. That's what you want? Like, what do you want me to do? I don't understand what you want. Okay, so now you're laughing. Like, ooh, I'm sure some of the Peruvians would have been like, that's funny, but I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I don't know what to tell you. You want me to go up there and do what? That is funny. I just go up and make a Hassan joke? Like, it's dumb, chat. Like, you don't, like, okay, here's another line. Ready? I'm going to be honest. This speech is going to be long, partly because I have a lot to say, and partly because I want to see how long I can talk before my mom starts giving me the wrap it up eyes.
And I think he got emotional, but tried to cover it up with a yawn.
I didn't try to cover up anything.
I don't know. It was a really good speech. I was like, that was actually impressive. And then did you actually write that? Apparently he did. I don't know.
Yes, I did. You 1000% know I did because none of you laughed. I did. I 1000%. Okay, at the end of the speech, I was kind of tearing up a little bit. So I just said I was yawning, which a lot of people laughed at. I also picked on a couple people in the crowd that I thought was funny. I thought that was good. My initial idea for my speech was that I was going to say I learned Spanish and that I was going to, instead of learning Spanish, I was going to learn German. And then I was going to start speaking German, but very loudly and just going in a really big tangent of a speech in German, which I thought would have been funny. And I didn't do that, so... But I thought it would have been pretty good. That would have been funny, right? Yeah, so they would have been funny. There was other ideas I had, too, for my speech. I had some other ideas. I had an idea where I was going to say a very beautiful speech that was tear-jerking and really sad for about 8 minutes. And then right at the end of 8 minutes, I was just going to say a slur. That was my other idea. Like, the last word, as I give the mic out, I'll just rip some crazy word. Yeah, that's funny, right? Yeah, okay, so you guys like that one. So I should have done that instead. Just a beautiful speech that's just all encompassing and then just rip a fucking crazy slur. That'll be my next speech. You know I don't give a fuck. What's with you and slurs? I mean, bro, it's sometimes they can be funny, all right? Look at Peterbot. That was hilarious. Like, what the hell? What the hell was that? That was some crazy stuff. Why is Mar doing this? Let's keep going, shall we? So, while I was in Austin, or not in Austin, while I was in New Jersey, I had a lot of fun. I was with my family, did a lot of stuff, but chat, I'm telling you, I got really fucking pissed. Because I went to my local community pool. Now, one in chat, if you had a godlike community pool when you were a young buck. When you were young, did you have an insanely good community pool? I had the best community pool. All my friends would show up there all the time. We would do the best stuff. Would think of this stuff, I appreciate it. We would do everything together. We would, there was a giant pink wall. We'd play suey. We'd play burn ball, and we would fight. Like we would get in fights behind that pool, behind there all the time. Yo. It's where we would all learn how to fight because there was a giant pink wall, and we would fight. There was a playground that we had that was this beautiful wooden playground where there was just a bunch of bees that would sting you. We would learn that bees are bad. There was just a lot of learning aspects to my pool that were important to me as a child. I would go up to the cash register and start talking to them. And they would teach me, like, yo, you should probably stop cutting in line. I would learn these things, right, as I would get older. I went to my local community pool because I like to go there and just, like, look around. A lot of my old family and friends are there. And while I'm there, I'm looking around. And all of a sudden, I'm pissed. I went there in a good mood, chat, I'll be honest. And I came out fucking furious. Because everything about my childhood that I told you about was completely a lie. I'm looking and I see the beautiful playground I once had. They turned into a water park. But chat, here's the crazy part about this water park. Ready? It's not a normal water park that you think. Here's what it's like. They spent $2.5 million on this, all right? So this is the water park. This is my pool. Okay, it's just basically a giant square. And over here was the playground. It was fucking sick as a kid. They changed it to a water park. Now, the water park has basically just like 3 or 4 sprinklers that kids run through, which is stupid as fuck, and it's $2 million. Okay? But the problem with this chat, which was insane to see, was that they had the sprinkler system, and when they planned it and set it up, they put the water supply to the normal water supply, meaning that they aren't recycling the water. They don't recycle the water. So because of that, all the water that they use in this place, all the sprinkler, those like giant systems where like people can run through, all the kids run through, they don't recycle the water. And no, it's really gross. It's really bad that they don't do that because it's costing the town thousands of dollars a day in water. It's fucking up the entire town. And now there's houses on the side of the pool that are around the pool, right? And the pipes have so much water going through that they're bursting out and going into people's yards. It's fucking up the entire area because these stupid fucks thought it was a good idea to get rid of our playground. And I asked them, I said, why did you guys get rid of our playground? What the fuck went down that you got rid of the playground? Why did you put a $2 million sprinkler system that no one wants, that no one uses? And why is this all happening? I did what any normal 30-year-old man with no children would do. I got pissed about my local town, and I went in there. I walk right up to the manager, and I go up to him, and I look at him in the eyes. And when I look at him, I'm looking down. That's a rare occasion, right? But not really in New Jersey, because honestly, chat, you might be surprised. In New Jersey, I'm actually above average height. The average New Jersey male is about 5'7", 5'5" when he takes off his Timbs, and I was actually looking down at him. But I wasn't looking down at him in a way of just this. The dude was 21 years old. 21. The kid was a 21-year-old kid running the pool, the community pool. And I'm looking at him like, where's the manager? He's like, I am the manager. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? How are you the manager at 21? And he couldn't do anything for me. I'm like, well, I'm asking him questions. So I'm like looking at him like, yo, tell me what the fuck's going on with the pool. First of all, what happened to the playground that I once loved? Why did you guys take away the playground? And he said to me, the reason why we took the playground down is because parents were complaining that kids were getting stung by bees. I said, so you're telling me you put a $2 million sprinkler system instead that has destroyed an entire street of water, that has no recycling of water supply, and you did all this because kids were getting stung on a playground. They said, well, it wasn't just that. The reason why we also did it wasn't just because of the bees, but because there was a pole on the playground that was really warm, and would sometimes, when kids would touch it, it would hurt themselves because the pole would get too warm in the sun. I'm like, okay, so they learn to not touch the pole when it's warm, like they do at home when they like a stove. Like, what? That's it. I cannot fathom that was real, and that's really why they got rid of the playground that I grew up on and loved. Is that the pole was too warm, and that the jungle gym that we once had bees in it, and they didn't want to deal with the bees, so they got rid of it. Then, in the back, there is a giant pink wall, chat. It is huge. It's 30 feet, and this thing is ridiculous. We would do burn ball. They would have movie nights on this thing. I watched Toy Story for the first time on this wall, and they would do movie nights here. But what also they would do, chat, which was awesome back in the day, which was more important than anything that was on the wall, what was behind the wall. Behind the wall, there were no cameras. There were no parents, and it was just grass. So all we would do back then is go behind the wall and fight each other. When we would have problems in the pool, we would go out and say, meet me behind the wall, and we would fight. That's where we learned how to fight back in the day. We would all go back there and fight all the time. There was nothing back there besides us punching each other. So I asked the guy, I said, what happened to the wall? Why did you guys tear down this wall? That's not what Trump asked for. What are you possibly doing? And he looks at me in the eyes and goes, you know what happened behind that wall. Why are you asking me why we tore it down? I'm like, because it was an important part of me growing up, was me learning how to fight behind that wall. Like, kids are such pussies nowadays. Why can't you just learn how to go fight? Why do we have to make sure that they have no safe spot to do things? Like, yeah, we all we would do is fight behind that wall, but it was important lessons that we learned. Such pussies. I was like, it's such pussy ass mentality. So they got rid of the wall, which is depressing. But the worst thing about my pool now, chat, is they don't. And I know you're not going to believe this. They don't have movie nights anymore. I know. It hurt me too when I found out that. I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. They said, yup, we don't have movie nights. I said, what the fuck are you doing this to this generation? They said, we don't have movie nights because we don't stay open past 8 o'clock ever since COVID. I looked them in the eye and I said, you son of a bitch. Do you realize what you're doing to these children? Chat, my pool has one cool ass thing that I didn't tell you about. You ready for this? My pool, once it hits 9 o'clock at night, the lights turn on. And the entire pool lights up as the lights go down in the community pool. And when you're a child and you're in that pool and you see those lights turn on, you feel like you're in a spaceship. You're like, holy fuck, the entire pool is lit up. You feel like what you're doing is illegal when you're in that pool with your friends. You're like, I shouldn't be in here, but we're invited. It is awesome. It is such an insanely cool feeling that kids will never enjoy anymore because of COVID. And they said that that's why we don't have movie nights. We tore down the wall because of it, and we tore down the pool because like so much of the pool is gone. And I asked the guy, I said, look, tell me the honest truth. What's going on with the pool? He said, the pool is in an economic disaster because kids are not coming to the pool anymore. So we've raised the prices, and we're raising the prices of the pool membership for the next 3 years. I said, that's insane. He said, yep, we're raising the prices for the next 3 years because we just do not have members that are coming. So I was pretty depressed. I'm sitting in the pool, kind of sad, you know. It's like watching your favorite show go from an amazing experience to dog shit. Gossip Girl, if one in chat, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm chilling there. I'm having a good time. Got really sad. I'm sitting there with my old friends, and we're just reminiscing about the past, right? But I get hungry. I go up to the snack bar, which I worked at, chat, and I learned so many valuable lessons working at that snack bar. I once stole $30 from the tip jar because I wanted to buy a video game. I don't remember which game it was, but it definitely was important. I learned how to steal. I learned how to eat food when you're not on break. I learned how to steal Skittles whenever the manager's not looking. I learned such important lessons that kids need to learn, but they're just not doing nowadays. It makes me really sad. So I went to the snack bar, and I'm like, all right, let me go talk to the kids. I walk up to the snack bar to get I was gonna get French fries, right? And I look. It's a fucking clanker. What the fuck is this? 3 kiosks just sitting there. No humans. Touch to order. The human's in the back on his phone. Where's the love? Where's the love? Where's the sacrifice? Where's the people? Where's the place? Where's the feelings? The environment? The community? Why are there 3 clankers at a pool? I asked the guy, I said, why are there 3 clankers at the pool? Is it really a money problem that we can't pay kids? He said to me, it's not that. I said, what do you mean it's not we can't pay the kids? What is it? People don't want to talk to other people, so they prefer the kiosk because it's less intimidating.
Hi ho, nice to see you back.
What's the point of a community pool if you're not gonna talk to people? What is the point? Chat, it makes no sense. Swim. You're supposed to swim by yourself? That's called a bathtub, chat, and take some shrooms. You'll think you're swimming. There's such a stupid logic. And I'm looking in the pool, there's no children in there. There's still the same old lady that sit in that pool 20 years ago who's still there. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to this generation? I'm mad. I'm old and I'm mad. I go looking around and I look for my community pool and I'm walking around and I'm pissed. So I'm there and I'm looking for this one thing at this community pool, chat. There was this whale that I used to have, okay? There was this whale that I used to have when I was a kid. This whale that used to be at my community pool. And it was this huge fucking whale that was honestly assaulted by children for about 20 years. Hearts in chat for the whale. It was assaulted by children for many years. Me, my friends, everybody I knew. We would jump on this whale, we'd fuck with it, and it was a part of the community. It was a great thing. I love this fucking whale. What I'm about to show you is pretty graphic, so I just recommend if you want to close your eyes for this, I understand. This whale was a part of our community for so long, and I found the whale, and it wasn't in the pool. It wasn't in the park. It was outside the pool, in the middle of the grass by itself, just sitting there. Not even painted, not even approved, nothing. Just sitting there. They left it in the fucking open. I know. I told you not to look. I told you not to look. This thing was a representation of my pool for so many years. Chat, I was so tempted to just draw swastikas all over this thing so they have to at least repaint it. It just is sitting there by itself. By itself. I was so mad. I couldn't believe this thing. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. It's just a beached whale sitting there by itself. It's insane.